3I Atlas. It's an alien spacecraft headed towards Earth. They announced they were coming towards Earth, and now they are almost at Earth. I don't know how much of this is true, but it is an interesting story because typically when we're dealing with, I wouldn't want to say conspiracy theory because astronomical objects are not conspiracies. But when you're dealing with these theories that seem to be implausible, they tend not to be real. The truth is, 3I Atlas may just be a big rock, but enough smart people have begun to question what we are seeing with this object, and it seems to make no sense. We may be looking at a new discovery of some kind of celestial object or perhaps intelligent life. There's a great video by, let me make sure I get the guy's name properly in his channel, What Lurks Beneath, that breaks down a lot of this. He makes a lot of interesting points, and he highlights a lot of the news from the story. I want to give you some of the context he brings up. I'm not going to play the full video. It's not what I do here. But I have many articles breaking down some of the claims that he's presented in this video, such as signals being sent out, how this was found, what people are talking about, the anti-tale, why none of it seems to make sense. My friends, I believe that based on what we're seeing, we have now the greatest probability that we are looking at intelligent extraterrestrial life. That being said, the greatest probability might still be astronomically low. Probability dictates 99.99. It's a rock. And it's a rock doing stuff we didn't know it could do. But who knows? One of the more interesting parts of this video was the reference to the wow signal. For those that aren't familiar, this was back in 77. Some guy was looking at this area and he saw a big pulse of a radio signal and went, wow, he circled it and wrote wow. Many have speculated that this was intelligence that sent this signal. Very well could have been some kind of hydrogen explosion, who knows, but it's massive. And we saw it briefly, but never again. It's now being speculated that when they track 3I Atlas, it may have come from a similar area. And there are reports right now that 3I Atlas has been pulsing in some way. Now, I want to be careful here because some people are saying it's a signal being sent. Pulsing does not mean signal. But some are now reporting that 3I Atlas sent a message to Earth. Could it be that we have been emitting at the speed of light radio waves, which made it apparent that life exists? Could it be, in fact, that the moment life began to exist on Earth, an advanced alien civilization would have detected this and projected when that life would reach a certain point in their civilization and then decide to come and visit? Maybe. We track planets with our limited technology relative to any interstellar spacefarers, and we can tell when a planet is what we would describe as Class M, which, of course, is a Star Trek reference to a planet that can host life in the way that we know life can be hosted. It is therefore very easy to assume any advanced alien civilization would be able to detect when another planet emerges that will host life. They'd see Earth. Then a signal would be sent out, which would be relatively rudimentary, and then maybe probes. Maybe. Don't know. What are the motivations and intentions of a civilization that's billions of years old or hundreds of thousands of years old? Honestly, we have no idea. Why would we care so much to go and look at some ants far away? Well, to learn about them, because that's what intelligent life would probably do. Let me first show you a bit from this video here about the signal being sent out. And then we'll talk about 3I Atlas.
Signal coming from the 3I Atlas itself. I'm not talking about reflected radio waves or natural emissions. We're talking about an actual transmission that allegedly lasted 11 seconds, and when decoded, showed a repeating sequence of prime numbers: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17.
I have not been able to confirm that claim. When I've pulled up some of these stories, let me see if I can actually find whatever source I have. It was not putting out 2, 3, 5, 7, et cetera, but it was putting out 8, 3, 18, something else, which, of course, 8 is not a prime number. The reason for the prime number claim is that prime numbers don't occur naturally, and it's well. Let me have this. He'll explain it to you.
Prime numbers don't occur naturally in space. I mean, they're mathematical. They require intelligence to generate. In fact, Carl Sagan famously suggested that if we ever received a signal from aliens, it might be prime numbers. A universal way to say that this is intentional. Of course, NASA has not confirmed this detection, and in fact, they've been remarkably quiet about any radio observations of the 3I Atlas. But multiple amateur radio astronomers claim that they have detected these unusual signals in the object's vicinity.
And I will stress, now he's going to explain a little bit more, but I want to stress this. Government ain't going to tell you. If they detected a signal, they're not going to come out because it's a national security threat. It's a planetary threat. Even if it's not intended to be a threat, there is a threatening component. And governments are going to be like, we need to know what's going on first, lest we create a panic. So when multiple amateur astronomers or whatever say, hey, yo, I got a weird signal, I give it some credibility. Now, before I play this, subscribe. Click that. Where's that stupid subscribe? But where's my hand? There you go. Subscribe. Guys, welcome to the new Tim Pool channel. Talk about what I feel like talking about. And if you like the videos that I've produced so far, click subscribe now, because these videos are getting, I got one with 500,000 views. Why ain't you subscribing? You should click subscribe. Not like it's the most important thing in the world, but it does help. So also give a thumbs up. Let's play.
Christina Gomez, who covers space anomalies, reported that some observers were seeing structured sound coming from the object, or patterns that repeated every 22 minutes. Avi Loeb suspects that it's possible that whatever this is, it's not a comet, but is artificial. And he has tasked his entire research team at the Galileo Project, which is Harvard's scientific search for extraterrestrial technology.
This is a Harvard researcher, scientist saying this is not just some rock.
To monitor the sky around it. But folks, we're not talking about just watching the object, but to look for unusual activity. I mean, he even explained to Newsmax that if this is an alien probe, it would release some mini probes that will visit the planet. Now keep in mind that is coming from a Harvard professor, the former chair of Harvard's astronomy department, saying that we need to watch for probes. On October 3rd, something unprecedented was about to happen. For the first time in history, humanity would have a front row seat to watch an interstellar object pass by another planet.
Now, a few things that I want to highlight. Before this video, by the way, is absolutely fantastic. From what is it? What lurks beneath? Amazing video. The music's great. He describes things well. I haven't been able to confirm a lot of what he said, but I do want to show you a bit of where we're at. Check this out. This is from 2 days ago. 3I Atlas may have just changed color for the third time. Recent observations in the interstellar object show that it has developed a faint bluish hue, hinting at a potential color change. It's the third time experts have seen the comet's color shifting since it was discovered. They've also reported that, let's see, do I have the anti-tail? It just mutated. This is from today. NASA detects 3I Atlas asteroid changing form and heading our way. What? So apparently this thing has what's called an anti-tail, which was really confusing to everybody. I don't know if I have there's so many articles on this stuff. Basically, do they have it right here? Here we go. What is this? 3A Atlas sent a message to Earth and triggered scientific discussions worldwide, claimed one post. The interstellar object passed its perihelion, the closest point to the sun, on October 29th. It then brightened fivefold, but remained without a visible tail, confusing astronomers who expected typical cometary activity, claimed a user. These claims cannot be independently verified. Apparently, early on, it was emitting gas in a direction that it was moving, which they said makes no sense because science. The gas being emitted off the back is a rocket force in the other direction, equal and opposite reactions. Anybody who's fired a gun knows what that means. Imagine you have a gun, you pull the trigger, and it pulls you towards the bullet. It seems strange, but yes, these are the things that we are hearing about 3I Atlas. Let's play this video.
3I Atlas sent a message to Earth yesterday, and it's changing everything and putting the world's top scientists into a tizzy as to what it means. And these are videographer images behind me of it passing through our solar system. But the top scientists in Antarctica, that base there, was like, we should listen up at it because like our ozone's thinner here. There's not light pollution, and they did pick up on a frequency, and it was like a binary formulaic Morse-esque code, and they captured it very clearly. They put it in advanced AI algorithm, ChatGTP, and it translated what the most likely interpretation of it is. And it says, "We sky cousins, we come peace, friends, we pass by to observe Earth."
No way! This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And then it says, "We put man on Earth millions of years ago. We return to elevate man." And then they ended the message with, "Hang tight, friends, hang tight."
Hang tight is a colloquialism that is meaningless in any look. You have to understand culture and understand what hang tight means, because it literally translates to grip the thing you're hanging from as tightly as you can. But we know what it means. It means wait calmly.
This is huge. There was another part of the message after they said hang tight that we haven't been able to interpret. We're working on it right now. We're tweaking the AI algorithm.
Well, no disrespect to you, buddy, but perhaps if you could say scientist, I might believe you a little bit better. We have this Avi Loeb warns something strange is happening with 3I Atlas. This is, again, Harvard scientist Avi Loeb has just shared new data. The third known interstellar object that entered our solar system. That's why it's called 3I Atlas, by the way, third interstellar object. After it passed closer to the sun October 29th, new reports from NASA and the Minor Planet Center revealed something shocking. It became 5 times brighter in just a few days and is now showing a non-gravitational acceleration that can't be explained by gravity alone. Aliens! Anna, I think it's Rep. Anna Paulina Luna, U.S. Rep, calls on NASA to share unreleased pics of 3I Atlas as comet color shifts for a third time. Whoa. This is Republican Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna calling on NASA to share unreleased data and images of the Manhattan-sized comet to advance our understanding. I write to request the release of specific observational data related to 3I Atlas, recently captured by NASA missions. This information is of great importance to advancing our understanding of interstellar visitors and their interaction with our solar system. Check this out. It's getting crazy. The lawmaker specifically called on the space agency to release the images that the high-rise camera aboard the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter snapped between October 2nd and 3rd. She also requested supplementary data. We don't know what is happening. The one thing we know is that it's defying what we think we know about celestial objects. The indication to many is that some kind of intelligence is involved. I don't know that that's true. Let's play some more of this.
Everyone needs to get ready because we have very new information about Atlas 3I. Scientists were already perplexed when it was shooting a jet stream into our sun. After it went around the sun, they thought it was going to start leaving. They thought it was going to be going out of our solar system, not closer into Earth. Then a very interesting event happened that has scientists baffled. They cannot explain why. And hear me out. Because now the latest images and videos from these deep space telescopes show that Atlas 3I is brightening. It's literally getting bright.
These videos are the worst. I'm sorry, bro. So a lot of this is interesting and true, but you got to watch out for, no disrespect, man, but some people, you know, I don't know, guys. You got to comment. You got to tell me what you think this is and what's really going on. Let's jump back and see what our buddy over here, What Lurks Beneath, has to say.
Multiple spacecraft orbiting Mars, NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, the European Space Agency's Mars Express, and the ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter had all been positioned to capture this object during its closest approach.
Now, again, we've already been through that because I read from the Paulina Luna story. She's trying to get these images, and I want to jump ahead. I recommend that if you want to watch this guy's full video is incredible. Check out What Lurks Beneath on YouTube to watch. But I want to specifically comment on a few things that he said in particular.
was photographing the sky over Namibia when he captured something strange about the object. 3I Atlas was glowing green. It was a vivid, unmistakable green that lit up the images. Immediately, he shared the photos with his colleague, Gerald Raymond, and within hours, other amateur astronomers around the world were confirming the same thing, that the comet was green. But only weeks before, the Very Large Telescope in Chile had determined that it was carbon chain depleted, which means it has almost no dicarbon, the molecule that makes comets glow green when hit by sunlight. This object is one of the most carbon depleted comets ever recorded. Stephen Burns, who is an amateur astronomer, analyzed images from NASA's Perseverance rover, and he posted a time-lapse animation online. Other astronomers immediately started picking it apart frame by frame. Then people could see things that nobody had noticed before, specifically multiple objects. Not just one, but several fast-moving points of light traveling together. At the 3-second mark of Burns' animation, there's a brief green flash, not a single pixel camera artifact, but a diffused glow. And it's not coming from the object, it's offset from the main object. And the polarization data was also wrong. Zuri Gray and her team published the first ever polarimetric observations of it, which is a process in which we figure out what dust particles in space are made of and how big they are and how they're structured. Blind. The sun's glare will completely wash out any possibility of observation. Normally, this wouldn't be a huge concern because comets pass behind the sun all the time. We lose sight of them, they come back out the other side, and we continue tracking them. But 3I Atlas is not a normal comet. And what happens to comets at perihelion isn't always predictable. Look at Comet Ison in 2013. Appearing from view, potentially transforming or activating while hidden, it sounds like Project Bluebeam.
It said Project Blue Beam, but it's Project Blue Beam, which is, and maybe I'll give a different explanation, holographic projections, the government.
Bluebeam is a conspiracy that claims NASA and the UN are planning to fake an alien invasion, or...
Kind of. Project Bluebeam is basically about the ability to project holographic images into the sky using lasers. There's something called talking plasma, which is really interesting. Basically, one of the ideas around this is by taking two lasers and pointing them at each other so the beams cross, you will create a refraction point in space floating in the air. If you take these two lasers and make them go left and right like this, then the beams will intersect at various points and they'll move left and right. The refraction point then looks like a floating dot in space. You can't see the lasers. You ever use a laser pointer? You can't see the beam unless something can refract the beam, so you blow smoke into it. But as you are pointing the laser at the wall, you see the dot on the wall, you don't see the beam. If you make the beams collide, it will create a point where they both refract on each other. The theory is, because we know we can do this, you take tens of thousands of lasers, and all of a sudden, you are creating voxels. A pixel is like, point on a screen, you know what a pixel is. A voxel is a three-dimensional version. With all these lasers moving around, you can draw images in the sky. So, some people believe.
Some sort of religious event, like the Second Coming of Christ, or something to that degree, using advanced holographic technology. A ton of people dismiss it, including modern science. But the timing alone is making people second guess. I mean, it's really making a lot of us anxious. You have this strange object with all of these anomalous properties and, growing media attention about a possible artificial origin, and a period where we lose sight of it completely, and when it reemerges in December, I mean, who knows what we'll see.
So I want to show you this. This is from Military Times, and it's quite simple. There you can see. Now, this, I believe, talking plasma...
that can make laser...
Here you go.
Pentagon scientists have finished testing on an early weapon that can make laser plasma balls talk.
Stop, or we will be forced to fire upon you.
It's called the laser-induced plasma effect, and it's made by the Joint Non-Lethal Weapons Directorate. So what they've done is basically created a laser that can shoot out to a certain distance, and they can pipe in sound waves through it, and actually make human voice sounds and commands.
Stop, or we will be forced to fire upon you.
Now, where this becomes useful is around an area where you want to keep a perimeter secure. So essentially, you can shoot out this laser, you can then talk to the people on the edge of the perimeter rather than sending troops out there and tell them to get away, or you're going to shoot, or get away, or they're going to use other means to deter them. And that same laser can be used to actually target the individual and create heat through pinpricks, like microscopic pinpricks in their skin, even beneath clothing. It's extremely uncomfortable and people move out of the way almost immediately. At the same time, the exact same laser is also being used as kind of a never-ending flashbang grenade. It can basically, with a power source, it can constantly create audible effects to deter and confuse and disorient people, just like a flashbang grenade that you would have in your kit, but would only be able to flash once, maybe twice, depending on the design.
So with this, imagine they're able to project, using the lasers, a vehicle in the sky that's making sounds like or whatever, and people are going to be like, I can hear it and I can see it. Or my favorite trick, who knows?
Supposedly, the European Space Agency's JUICE spacecraft is supposed to observe the 3I Atlas in late November, right after the perihelion, but that data won't even be available until February of next year, or 2026. Or as a lot of people like to say, 3 months to decide what we're allowed to see. After all the detailed analysis, at this point, the question isn't whether it will emerge in December, the question is, what will emerge? Now, at the time of recording this, right, the supposed date is December 1st, but if you're watching this in the future, I'm sure that will be updated and changed.
Indeed. So where we are right now, we have an object that seems to defy our understanding of objects. It was presumed to be a comet. It's changed colors. It has an anti-tail and then no tail at all. It's changed colors now for a third time. And some have even speculated that it's moved in ways it should not move. As we already read from one of the articles, it seemed to move against the projected gravitational forces, implying internal locomotion. Oh boy. Will we be greeted by aliens? Is it a probe come to monitor us? One of the other interesting things in this video is, I wonder if I can find it, where he mentions the wow signal. I don't, specifically the wow signal, but I don't remember if, okay, here we go. Let's grab this real quick.
At 10:16 p.m., astronomer Jerry Eman was reviewing data from the Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University when he saw something that made him grab his red pen. On the printout in front of him was a sequence of numbers and letters, 6EQUJ5. To most people, it would look like gibberish, but he knew exactly what it meant. This was a signal 30 times stronger than the background noise of space.
Now, I don't know how much I actually believe any of that stuff. Like, people believe it was intentional, but let's show you what he's talking about. For those not familiar, the WOW signal was a strong narrowband radio signal detected August 15, 1977. Astronomer Jerry R. Ehrman discovered the anomaly a few days later while reviewing the recorded data. He circled it and wrote, wow. The entire sequence lasted a full 72-second window, during which Big Ear was able to observe it. Despite numerous follow-up searches and hypotheses, including brief consideration of reflections from space debris, interstellar scintillation, and comet hydrogen clouds, the signal has never recurred and no explanation, terrestrial or otherwise, has been confirmed. And that's why some think aliens. Now, apparently, this object is coming from a similar location. 3I Atlas is coming from a location where we saw a strange signal. It's moving faster than anyone expected to move. Estimates putting it at around 10 billion years old. Or it's intentional movement. It's moving quickly because it was designed to move quickly. And it doesn't need to be 10 billion years old. It can be much, 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 much less than that. Now, I don't know about all that. We made human long time ago. Come hang tight. Like, yeah, okay, dude, sure. But certainly, it's exciting. What do you guys think? I don't know. Aliens. Smash the like button, share the show, subscribe right now. Click that subscribe button and comments and share your thoughts. I'll wrap it up there. We'll be tracking this, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all next time.